All right, it is coming up next Saturday night. The UFC is in Tampa, Florida, with a card that will be airing on Fox at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, headlined by light heavyweights Glover Teixeira. And the man who joins us now, who will walk into the octagon next Saturday for the 20th time, he is Rashad Evans joining us. Rashad, 20th fight in the UFC. This is a rather big milestone, I would say.
It is, and you know what? It's news to me. I had no idea it was my 20th fight in UFC. That's good. I like to hear that.
Well, not the sentimental type is one Rashad Evans, but before we talk about the fight with Glover Teixeira, certainly with all of the issues surrounding UFC 197 and Daniel Cormier out, I just want to hear it from you. Were there discussions about you possibly being inserted into that fight? Did discussions ever take place for that might have prevented this fight from happening with Glover?
Yeah, I had my managers reach out and speak to the UFC and, make a decision on throw my name in the hat. And I let my managers take care of it. I let them know my interests, and then, I just kind of forgot about it. I didn't want to get my hopes up because, I consider John probably one of the best fighters to ever step into the octagon. If you get a chance to compete against him and step in for a fight would have been huge. So I was very excited at the opportunity, but I just, once I put my hat in the mix, I just let it go.
Well, it's a benefit for those that have bought tickets in Tampa because it was right around the same time. Tony Ferguson is out of this card, and now you and Glover Teixeira are going to be in the main event of this fight. Tell me about it, with it being such short notice that now this is a 5-round fight. What do you really do to prepare for 2 extra additional rounds potentially on Saturday? Or are you just confident that this camp has gone your way, that those extra 10 minutes you'll be ready for?
I hope, honestly speaking, it's tough. It's really tough. And, that extra 10 minutes, those championship rounds, are not one to take lightly.
No.
So the only thing I really can do right now is just make sure I just up my cardio a little bit as much as I can. But at this point, physically speaking, is what I got, is what I'm going to have, And the only thing I can really do is just mentally feel better, mentally put myself through it so that way I have the confidence. Once I have the confidence, I'll find some way to get through that 10 minutes. I don't care how ugly it looks, I'm going to make it through. You know what I'm saying? But, honestly speaking, I don't see, I didn't see this fight going that long anyways, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be, we're going to shoot the 50, and the best man to come out on top.
How is it explained to you and your management why this had to be a 5-round fight? You two are going through your camp. You already got the one curveball with an opponent change. Why did this have to be a 5-round fight, do you feel?
Well, I'm happy it's a 5-round fight. That means that, the UFC they still believe in my drawing power, and they still believe in my ability to close out the fight. So I think that's a great thing. It wasn't really explained. They just asked me, asked my management team if it's something that we'll do, and I was like, hey, I'll do it. If he'll do it, I'll do it.
I mentioned the opponent change there. Of course, this was originally going to be the elusive fight. I say elusive because we don't know if we'll ever get it, with Mauricio Shogun Rua. Have you resigned yourself to the fact that maybe you two are just never destined to fight? Because this one has been attempted many, many times, and here is Rashad Evans. Once again, he's ready, but unfortunately Shogun not making it here to Tampa.
Yeah, I just resigned to the fact that it's only a fight that will happen on a PS4. and that's it. That's what I resign myself to, Shogun is one of my favorite fighters, and a fighter who I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And I would have loved the chance to compete against him, but, our stars never aligned. And I don't know how much longer he wants to continue to fight. I don't know if after this fight that he has in Curitiba that he's going to decide to hang it up. But, it would have been fun, but at the same time, no need to, cry over spilled milk.
As you prepare for Glover Teixeira and getting to study a lot of him, what would be the key element or even elements that you have learned the most about Glover Teixeira since honing in and studying this guy's style? What has stuck out for you the most in preparing for him?
Well, Glover's a dangerous guy. He hits like a Mack truck. He comes forward with a lot of pressure. And not only can he, have good ground, he has good wrestling as well, too. So, he's going to be hard to take down. He's going to be hard to hold down. He's going to be hard to stand up with. I just got to be ready in all areas, and I feel like I've had a camp that prepared me for whatever comes my way. And that's a key thing that I've been able to do this camp, is just not really get too set up or mentally set up and wanting to take the fight any one place. Being able to take the fight anywhere or fight anywhere, and get comfortable has been my main thing. So I'm good with that.
How do you feel at this point, a week out from the fight, as you did approximately the same time prior to the Ryan Bader fight? You had the 2-year layoff. Yeah. Is it a very different feeling this time around, having gone through this camp and having the shorter turnaround?
Oh yeah, physically speaking, I feel great. I'm better when I stay busy, and I'm better when I continue to train. That's one thing that I've done differently. I was coming off an injury with Ryan Bader. And I felt like I rushed it a little bit because I didn't have the confidence in the knee like I do now. I had one full camp. After the Brian Bader fight, I made sure I got right back into the gym, and I trained. And I trained as if I had a fight coming up in December. And I helped AJ out for his camp. And then I just kept training until I got to know that I was going to fight Shogun. So having that training under me, feeling like I've got a camp in already under my belt, has helped me physically come in a little bit more confident, and mentally as well. Am I nervous? 100%. Am I scared? 100%. But that's the mindset of a fighter. This is the ride. This is the roller coaster. This is the best drug on earth. It's called a fight, and I love doing it.
Did it take you a while to go back and watch the Ryan Bader fight? And were there positives you could take out of those 15 minutes that you could apply to this camp and beyond, just having that actual cage time to go back and reflect on?
I didn't watch the fight. I was there.
Yeah,
being there was painful. Being there was painful enough, and I didn't watch it. But I've taken lessons from it. I took some emotional footnotes from it, and I know where I lost that fight at, and I know where I need to do better so that never happens to me again. And that's the only thing that I'm really focusing on, is just making sure that I don't make those same mistakes. I don't need to watch that fight over to know what mistakes I made.
That was also the very first card for the UFC where the IV ban had been instituted. Did that have any effect on you? Are you someone that had relied on IVs in the past to replenish after weigh-ins?
I was big on IVs before, but, physically speaking, going into that fight, I took care of my weight really well, so I didn't really need an IV. It wasn't an issue, but just the whole feel of everything that was going on was just different with the UFC. It was just a different feel altogether. Like it was, I don't know, it was like I was a rookie again. You know what I'm saying? And it was something that I just wasn't used to, but it was exciting at the same time.
You had mentioned as well that you've been working with David Loiseau as well. He has been down in Florida assisting you, correct?
Yeah, Loiseau has been there.
And how's David been? It's been a while since we have heard from him up here in our neck of the woods here in Canada.
Oh, David is amazing. He's he's a coach now. He's got his own gym, and he just loves the coach. He loves the coach, and he comes out and he's probably a better fighter now than he was. Just being a coach just makes you get on that level, and he's definitely on that level now. So it's been amazing.
And your man Tyrone Spong, I saw a first-round knockout this past weekend. Is he full-time boxing now? Are we ever going to see him back in, whether it be kickboxing or mixed martial arts?
As it stands right now, he's just kind of focusing on boxing. And, I feel like I got a really good feeling with him with boxing. Guys, remember, he's training with Pedro Diaz, one of the best boxing coaches from Cuba. And I feel like, he's getting brought to another level, and he's bringing the same heavy striking style that he had in kickboxing and MMA. Now he's bringing it to boxing, and I feel like in the next couple of years he's going to make some serious noise.
And last question, as a native of Niagara Falls, is fighting in New York something that, now that it's a reality, Rashad, is that something on your bucket list that you would like to accomplish, fighting in the state of New York? Is that important to you?
Oh, man, that's so important to me. It's so important just to be able to go back to my home state and, compete there and combine two of my loves, love of home and love of MMA. And it would be great to go out there and compete, and whether it's in, I would rather fight where I'm from, like maybe at Buffalo, Niagara Falls area, or Buffalo, or something like that. Madison Square Garden would be a dream, but I would love to fight closer to home.
Well, first things first, and that is Glover Teixeira, happening next Saturday night,
yes,
8 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. Rashad, very much looking forward to this fight. All the best against Glover Teixeira, and we will be watching. Thanks very much for this time.